Well, I think what's really interesting, we could talk about a pair of students, and we could look at their paths. And we had Eros, and we had Eve. Both very, very strong students in terms of capabilities, their education, and what they thought about design. And so these two came at this project, I would say, with a very strong sensibility in all of those.
Yes, true.
当然是
And in the beginning, they were working together. They accomplished this very beautiful chair, and that was the first kind of product between the two of them. And then as they advanced, they both worked on these planimetric drawings and models that were very, very whimsical. They both had curves. They were both using the bamboo in a way that they were essentially drawing in 3 dimensions. We had these lines that were very beautiful, but they were also kind of like floating in the middle of nowhere. And so we saw kind of this collective manifestation between those two of wanting to do something that was very hard to do out of bamboo. And then when you introduce the labor aspect of this, we get dirty. We're at the studio every day. We are cutting bamboo, we're bending bamboo, we're drilling, we're putting it up, we're tying it together. That's when you start to see these two students kind of diverge. And you have Eros beginning to adopt an attitude of wanting to build more orthogonally. Essentially, we start to figure out, okay, I now know that I've spent 7 hours today bending one piece of bamboo. I'm not going to do this for the 50 pieces of bamboo that we want to bend to do my design. So that was actually a physical moment in the course where Eros decided that. And I think that was a very big change in his design sensibility moving forward. You had this transformation happen in Eros. Now, if we go back, that moment that they start to diverge, Eve continues with this desire to have this curved or this whimsical expression of bamboo manifested in the project. I observed a lot of struggle in her relationship with the labor aspect of this. In a way, she was probably one of the most meticulous in terms of physically bending the bamboo, physically splitting the bamboo, very specifically into a joint. But she would always return to drawing. There would be a daily return to trying to think through the future plan, the image of the entire structure. Very, very big picture, a lot of planimetric drawing all the way through the end. As they diverged, you had Eros maybe taking on a role of building an enormous amount of the vital structure that holds things up. And you had Eve kind of stepping back and thinking a lot more big picture. And it's very easy to say that Eve became maybe a little dissociated with the process. But what's absolutely amazing, and I think maybe quintessential moment that we're looking for in this type of project, is when all of the drawings and all of the work that she was putting in for thinking kind of big picture becomes almost organically expressed through the need for a railing, a banister to the stair. That then led to this kind of gestural peeling a single bamboo piece over the main entrance, making a gate. It's impossible to say who is responsible for that, any one individual. Thinking back to Eve and her idea of the need for this whimsical gesture to emerge from the project that eventually manifested itself, and that's really beautiful. And so I think the fact that these two took such different paths starting from such a very similar point is both an amazing way to summarize this project and the fact that every student has a different experience in this, but also extremely necessary for this project to look the way that it does and actually have been completed. I mean, we needed to have both of those in order for this to be a success. And that, I think, is a really amazing example, just by arbitrarily choosing 2 students. I mean, we could tell a similar story in each of them.